It's time to get your champagne wishes and caviar dreams. Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. Now, can you dig that?
Welcome inside the Hall of Fame, man. I'm Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me. As always, man, I want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame, man. Getting your champagne wishes, caviar dreams. Hey, man, I'm a little tired, man. Coming off a hell of a weekend. Brad, how you doing, though, man? Before we even get started, how you feel?
You know, I'm a little bit tired myself. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know what I mean? I'm a little bit tired myself. The thing is, we had the Sherri Martel Classic last night, which I'm sure that we're going to talk about. But what the thing is, I'm so used to our shows being on Saturday. So you know, when I was leaving the Sherri Martel Classic, I'm like, wait a minute, tomorrow is Monday. I've been out too late. It's already past my expiration date on the weekend, so I'm paying for it today. And and by the way, too, one of the boys locked themselves out of their car, so we had to figure that whole situation out. Things happen, that kept us out a little bit later, but it was still a great night. But I am feeling the effects this morning or this evening.
Yeah, man. And the thing is, I was coming. Of course, I was trying my best to make it to the Sherri Martel Classic. I didn't get a chance to make it, for the whole show, but I got there, right at the end. But I was coming from Birmingham, Alabama. I had a convention there, and before we get started, man, got a chance to meet two of my favorite. Yesterday, got a chance to take photos with them, and a childhood dream. I got a chance to meet Fred Williamson, and man, that was huge, and as well as I got a chance to meet Pam Grier.
Woo!
And man, it's crazy, man. I walked by Fred Williamson. I was like, wait a minute, that's Fred Williamson. I just marked out, and I marked out. I just had to go up to him and introduce myself, and then Pam Grier. I walked past her table, and I was like, wait a minute. I couldn't say nothing. I just kept walking because I went back to that look. I swear I was so intimidated by Pam Grier, but she came over and she took a picture with myself, the Godfather, D'Lo Brown, Mark Henry. It was an awesome weekend. It was an awesome weekend.
Well, first off, Fred Williamson has to be how old? How old is Fred Williamson now? Because he's been around forever.
He's got to be in his 80s. I'm not sure exactly how.
Maybe late 80s. Yeah.
Yeah. He's been around for a minute, but I tell you what, bro, he's still looking good. So big ups to Fred Williamson for still sticking it out and still doing his thing, man. Fred said he ain't gonna quit. He still got a lot more movies to do. And he said in this contract, he cannot die.
Well, you know what? I hope that he never does. Fred Williamson, he was like, people don't know. I mean, he was big in in the 70s was really when he was kind of almost an action film star in some ways. And he was in a lot of the, what they refer to as the blaxploitation films in the 1970s, along with Pam Grier. She was in that same era as well. Now, Book, I'll tell you this to get to Pam Grier, because I have so many questions now.
Sheba, baby. Yeah.
Well, to me, it's coffee.
Coffee. Yeah,
oh.
Yeah.
Dude, I was in an antique store somewhere. I don't remember what city we were in. We were somewhere, and I saw a big poster, like huge movie poster, not even like a regular poster size, like even bigger than that one.
Yeah.
Of Pam Grier and coffee.
Did you get it?
No, it was too much. It was framed. It was like way more than I wanted to pay for it. Like I sat there. It's one of those things where you see it in the store and you go over and you look at it, and then you walk around, you're looking at other stuff. And then you go back and look at it again, like, oh, am I going to do this? Like, am I going to make this bad decision? But I thought, I'm like, man, that'd be great in the living room. Like Pam Grier and coffee.
Yeah. Oh. I got a chance when I was a youngster, man. I went to go see Coffee. I'm at the theater, and it was Coffee and the Mac. It was a double feature. And man, I was way too young to be watching those movies.
Hell yeah.
But I watched them anyway, man. And I tell you, man, I was always a huge Pam Grier fan, as well as, like I say, Fred Williamson. Three the Hard Way was one of my favorite movies.
Three the Hard Way, yeah.
Jim Kelly and Jim Brown and Fred Williamson.
Oh, yeah. They were all football players, right?
Yeah.
Fred was a football player. And he was in, God, what's that one? I'll think of it in a minute. It was like There's Three the Hard Way was a famous one, but he had another one that was like right the same time. Black something.
Black Samurai.
Was it Black Samurai?
It
Is
might
that
have
what
been
it's called?
it,
Or Black something?
Black Belt Jones.
Maybe it was Black Belt. Is Black?
That's exactly what it was.
Okay.
Black Belt Jones. Yeah.
He had a lot of great ones though. A lot of great ones in that era. That's good. Now let me ask you this: the $1 million question, and I think I already know what it is, what the answer is. But Pam Grier still fine dime.
Still looking good, man. I mean, for her age, man, she's still holding up very, very well. She gave us a lesson in, jujitsu, taekwondo, keto, all that. She just went down the gambit as far as her days, being able to, start out as the first first Black woman to star in a karate flick, which is really, really cool too. So, but no, man, Pam Grier, like I say, that was a childhood dream for me. Going to Birmingham, that was worth it just to meet Fred and Pam Grier, seriously.
There's I think in LA, there's a Pam Grier coffee shop. I'm pretty sure called Pam's Coffee, like Coffy. And I don't know if she owns it or she and Quentin Tarantino own it.
Yeah,
but
actually, she was telling us something about that.
Oh, really? Yeah. She's got a coffee shop in LA. I think it's called Pam's Coffee, but it's Coffy, like the movie, So I think everybody go check it out. Support Pam Grier.
Bro, man, I can say, bro, I was like a kid, man. I went back to my childhood, and man, it was weird too. It was weird to actually, like I say, meet Pam Grier up close and personal like that, man. I'm still in shock a little bit, but what a time it buried. I know you can see it.
No, I understand. Like I get it. Like I would.
The thing is, I don't get like that. I'm never starstruck. I always said the only people I ever wanted to meet was Muhammad Ali and Sammy Davis Jr. Those are the only people I really, really wanted to meet. But I marked out when I met James Brown, of course. Certain people, and Gail Sayers. When I met Gail Sayers, I was like a little kid all over again. I was like, wow, I can't believe I was in the presence of Gail Sayers. So meeting Pam Grier and, like I say, Fred, two of my all-time favorite stars coming up, because, like I said, I saw all those Black exploitation movies. I saw all of them. And I still reminisce sometimes.
Yeah, man. No, that was a great era. And that's actually why, like the Roger Moore film, Live and Let Die, where it takes place like in New Orleans and and in the Caribbean, like it was kind of in that Black exploitation feel. And that's why I love that one. It's like my favorite Bond movie. It's funny you mentioned James Brown and meeting your stars and stuff. I've been going like on this Eddie Murphy binge lately of just watching his movies and interviews and stuff. And I just feel like you would appreciate this story. So I feel like we can share it. I know we're going to get into wrestling, obviously, but we're going down a different way for a second. So Eddie, when he was starting up in the comedy clubs, he was like 17, 18, like real young when he started in the comedy club. And one night he said he ran into Rodney Dangerfield. People know Rodney Dangerfield. He had the act like, oh, I don't get no respect. That was his thing. So he runs into Dangerfield and he's about to go on. And he goes, hey, Rodney, would you watch my set and give me some feedback? Kind of like what the boys do for you. Like hey, watch my match and let me know what I'm doing, right? So Rodney goes, yeah, I'll watch you, Kip. And so he watches, and then Eddie goes up to him and is like, so what did you think of my set? He goes, oh, kid, I don't know what you're going to do with that. He goes, real dirty. You need to stop all the cussing and all the dirty jokes, and, maybe it'll do something. So anyway, Eddie goes, I don't really listen to him. Years go by. I'm Beverly Hills Cop, 48 Hours, biggest star in the world. He's like, I'm in Vegas, and I go to the restroom at a casino, and I go to one of the urinals. He goes, and as I'm there, Rodney Dangerfield happens to come into the same bathroom, and he stands next to me. He goes, and we're sitting there at the urinal, and Rodney turns to me and he goes, who knew?
That's it.
Who knew?
No said. No said. I just loved it. I was wrong.
Who knew?
I can admit it. You know what I mean? That term. Yeah. Seriously, man.
But then he said he met James Brown, and James Brown's advice for him in entertainment was to bury all your money in the woods. That way the government can't get it, is what James Brown told him.
I thought he was going to say something like a lot of the wrestlers always tell the boys after they say, watch my match. quit the business.
You ain't got a future, kid.
Oh my God, man. Oh my
Hilarious.
God. But I had so much fun hanging around Ron Simmons and, like I say, Godfather and, D'Lo Brown, Mark Henry. We had such a good time. It was this one joke I came up with. But you ever seen those cans of water, but they look like beer?
Yeah. The
Like a beer,
liquid
like
death
yeah,
or whatever.
exactly. It's got like a skull on it. And Ron Simmons was like, "See, this is what get us in trouble right here. This right here. This can get you killed." And I go, the police officer can pull you over, and you tell him, "Hey, man, it's nothing but water." And he takes the can, he look at it, he see water written on it, distilled water, whatnot, and then he looks at you and go, "This ain't water. Get out of the car." I know one of them comedians out there gonna steal that joke right
Take
there.
it.
So you better give me credit if I hear it out there. Hey guys, stick around in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Hey everyone, it's Brad Gilmore from the Hall of Fame here with the one and only Booker T, the 5-time WCW champion, and we're excited to talk to you about something that's been a game changer for the both of us. That's HelloFresh.
That's right, Brad. HelloFresh makes home cooking easy, fun, and affordable with farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. You can skip those tiring trips to the grocery store and dive straight into cooking delicioso meals, man.
Absolutely, Book. HelloFresh offers over 50 recipes and a ton of market items to choose from every single week. You can say goodbye to meal planning woes and hello to convenience. I've been loving their quick and easy recipes. They're ready in 20 minutes or less, which means I can spend less time in the kitchen and more time enjoying that Texas summer sunshine.
And let me tell you, the fit and wholesome recipes are perfect for keeping you feeling great all summer long. They're balanced pack with fresh produce at under 650 calories per serving. Plus, HelloFresh kids-friendly recipes are picky eater proof. My kids love them.
And here's the best part, BT. If you go to HelloFresh.com/freebooker, that's HelloFresh.com/freebooker right now, you can get one free breakfast item for life. Forever, the entire time you're alive. That is HelloFresh.com/freebooker.
America's #1 meal kit. Baby, trust me, you won't regret it. HelloFresh takes the hassle out of meal planning, shopping, and most of the prep. You just choose your meals, select a delivery date, and get cooking, man.
So what are you waiting for? Go to HelloFresh.com/freebooker. That's HelloFresh.com/freebooker for free breakfast for life. HelloFresh.com/freebooker.
Boom! Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man. Hey, man, like I said, just going down memory lane there for a second, but we did have the Sherri Martel Classic that went down this weekend. But Brad, you look like you had something you want to say there.
I did, just on the fact of memory lane real quick, because we are in Houston and even we weren't, we're fans of the NBA, and we just got to give a big RIP to Dikembe Mutombo, who passed away today at 58 from a brain cancer, I believe is what he had. I saw the Rockets put something out. Dikembe was great, man. He was so great, obviously known for swatting the finger away and the Cookie Monster voice. He had a huge impact on the city. And, I definitely saw somebody put in the chat, they wanted to hear our thoughts on Dikembe. And, just all-time great center.
Man, I didn't even hear that, man.
You didn't? Oh, man.
I've been out of the loop today, bro. I've been out of the loop. I've been totally just like wasted just from the weekend, jetting back to, get to the Classic. And I just totally unplugged today. So I didn't hear anything about that, man. God bless, man. God bless. 58 years old. So,
Yeah.
so you're younger than me.
Yeah.
So I swear, man, when I hear these stories, man, they so close to home, you know what I mean? Because like I say, man, I know somebody's gonna be talking about me like this one day. I know somebody's gonna be saying this about me, but Dikembe was a guy who did it his way. You know what I mean? He definitely made a huge difference, not just here, but in his homeland. And I'm sure he's gonna be very well missed.
No, I mean, like, even if you weren't a huge NBA fan, like you knew Dikembe And I mean, you knew him either from this, or wagging the finger, or his voice was so distinctive too.
Yeah.
His voice was super distinctive, and he had a couple seasons with the Rockets. I think before he retired, like right before he retired. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
our thoughts and prayers are to his family. Definitely a legend in the game of basketball.
Definitely.
But you were mentioning the Sherri Martel Classic that did go down last night. That was honoring another legend of our sport, the great Sherri Martel, a 5-tool player too, right? I mean, Charmel talked about it in her speech last night regarding Sherri, but like someone who could wrestle, somebody who could cut a promo, somebody who could valet, somebody who could manage, who looked good on knew about the entrance and the presentation and the pageantry. She was really a 5-tool player in the game.
Yeah. Now Sherry, she covered all bases, man. She really did. She could do it all. I mean, from the wrestling side, she was good, so good at that. The managing side, she was valeting, no matter what it was, getting involved. That was the best part of Sherri Martel, getting involved, getting into action. I remember Knobs picked her up and threw her like from the ring to like the third row one night.
What?
Yeah.
Like during y'all's run?
Oh man, he almost got in so much trouble for it. And he goes to the agent, Sherry told me to do it. No joke. No joke, man. I swear to God, man. She was tough as nails, man. Like I said, she was truly our legitimizer. She set the fire under the Harlem Heat and made us, better than we ever could have been. I really truly believe that. I mean, I thought my brother and I was good, when we came from the Global Wrestling Federation. But I do totally feel like what Sherri Martel got with us, it was like turning up the heat. When I used to say, the 100,000 Harlem Heat degrees. That's the way
Right.
it felt, man. I swear, man. And she was very, very special in our careers. That's why the Sherri Martel Classic is so near and dear to my heart. That's why it means so much to me to be able to do something like this on a yearly basis, be able to keep Sherri Martel's name alive and still keep her relevant in this business. And I say that about myself. Sometimes, when you get to a certain place in life, somebody else got to keep you relevant. And right now, it's our job at Reality of Wrestling to make sure Sherri Martel is always looked at in the best light that she possibly can be. That's the way I see it.
No, man, I agree with you. And I will say this. Every woman on the show last night who competed in that, I mean, and to win the Sherri Martel Classic, it took 3 wins. And this is a single night tournament. So a lot of ladies went out there, bust their rear to try to get that championship and a beautiful title that we revealed on the show last week that is now around the waist of the winner. And you'll be able to actually, our YouTube members are going to actually get to see the Sherri Martel Classic before anybody. And you'll see it in its full entirety. So if you're not a YouTube channel member, go ahead and do that. That way you can see that before anyone else, the Sherri Martel Classic. But just everyone, book from top to bottom. You had people from OVW there. You had people from the NWA there. You had people obviously from Reality of Wrestling, from NXT, Carly Bright. Big shout out to her as well. Everybody came and represented, and it was a great crowd for a Sunday evening.
Yeah. And you guys, like Brad said, you guys can see it. And guys, let's thank our YouTube subscribers, because they have gotten us up to 796,000 subscribers. We are so close to 800,000 So 800,000 subscribers. So guys, keep clicking, keep subscribing, keep liking, hit the bell, get the notification and all that, because Reality of Wrestling, we are truly moving in a different atmosphere. I mean, in a different stratosphere. I was talking to some of the guys last night, some of the girls last night, and they were talking about how special and how much love was in the building at Reality of Wrestling for what we were doing for Sherri Martel. And that right there, and not just one, so many of them. Big ups there again to Carly Bright. Carly Bright, man, she was such a shining light, man. She literally lit up the room. I swear to God, when I walked in, she was so happy to have been a part of reality wrestling, not just reality wrestling, but the Sherri Martel Classic. And every one of the ladies, man, every one of the ladies went out there, and I swear, man, they tore it down. They made reality of wrestling something special. Like I said, those Sherri Martel Classics, those are history making moments for us. Those are the matches and the shows that's going to go down in reality of wrestling history. And that's what's so cool, that we are able to create our own history right here in Houston, Texas. That is so freaking awesome. I don't think people really understand how that really truly feels. It gives me goosebumps. Like I say, 20 years in the making, 20 years. 2005, we kicked this thing off. We're almost at 2025. We're almost there. And it will be 20 years for reality of wrestling, building a major mega company. Like I said to the guys last night, to the girls last night, I said, of course, we're building something at Reality of Wrestling, a major company, but we need each and every one of them to actually get it done. And I just want to say thanks to all of my crew. I'm talking about literally from the announcers to the commentators to the referees to the guys running the cameras. I mean, I never thought we'd have something as big. It's pretty big, when you think about it. I saw something, a comment I saw a comment in the comment section on YouTube, and it said, "Wait, this is Booker T's promotion." Yeah, damn it, it's my promotion, man. But we got a hell of a team that's making it work.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible to have, because I remember, Book, I mean, we've talked about it on the show, but I remember the rec center, Clear Lake Rec Center. Shout out to Clear Lake Rec Center for being our first home. But, I remember when the talent was, still developing. We're still trying to get a roster.
So young.
Trying to figure out lighting.
Like the Brian Keats of the world.
The Brian Keats of the world, trying to figure out lighting. I was actually talking to one of our announced team members, Chris Russo, and we were talking about lighting. And I was like, bro, you had to be there at the rec center. You weren't there when we had the light cranks, when we had a performer on top of the top rope getting ready to do a 450, and the lights go out because we forgot the gas in the generator. Like, we've come a long way.
Hey, bro, come a long way. But when the lights went out, it actually worked.
No, it worked for the match. It did. Yeah, I remember.
It worked, actually.
It worked for the match. Yeah.
God, man, I almost forgot about that one, man.
So, like, going from that to having a lighting grid, it's a big difference.
Yeah, as well as watching a young Gino Medina, or young Ryan Davison, watching these guys cut their teeth. Guys like Oz, Aiden Cristiano. I mean, these guys have been with us on this journey for a long time, and to the point to where, like Gustavo Mendoza coming back, just to present the championship. Those moments, man, those are huge moments for us, man. And to see it up close and personal the way we have, man, it's been a hell of a journey at Reality of Wrestling. And the thing is, man, we're just getting started. God just give me enough time to finish my work. That's the only thing that I ask more than anything. Just give me enough time to finish my work. And Reality of Wrestling is truly my work. But we got to take a break, man. We got to take another break. Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Can you dig it, sucker? And this episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Guys, let's talk about it. Let's talk about sex. Hey, you remember when you was always ready to go? I'm talking about strapping the rocket on it, man. Going straight to the moon. I'm talking about getting it done. If you want that extra confidence, I got something for you. Listen up. BlueChew.com. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, but in a chewable tablet at the fraction of the cost.
But the great thing, Book, is you can take it any time, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. The process is simple. You sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days.
The best part, guys, it's all done online on the internet. So there's no doctor's visit, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at a pharmacy or any of that.
And the thing is, Book, Blue Chew's tablets, they're made right here in the USA and prepared and shipped direct to your door in a discreet package, so no one is the wiser.
Let's just get it out there, guys. Blue Chew wants to help you have better sex. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. It's like this. Chew it and do it. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew absolutely free when you use promo code Booker at your checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping, man. That's BlueChew.com. Use promo code Booker to receive your first month absolutely free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And, we want to thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the Hall of Fame podcast. Chew it and do it. Boom. Welcome back inside the hall, man. Just talking about the Sherri Martel Classic. I can't wait for it. The whole episode. Actually, I think it's going to be a 2-week episodes of the Sherri Martel Classic when we do finally air it on the CW network. I can't wait to actually see it, for the fans to actually see it. It's going to be something really, really special. I think Paul Bosch, even up in heaven right now, is going to be looking down and saying, man, look what we've done. Look what we built at reality wrestling. Because I do feel like Paul Bosch is a part of reality wrestling. I have a big photo of Paul Bosch right behind my desk in the what we call the Bosch pit at reality wrestling in memory of Paul Bosch. So what organization? What organization? I just want to say that.
Yeah, man. No, we had a lot of fun. And
I came up with the Bosch pit. I just want to let everybody know that.
do you know Kevin and I now have an inside joke too between one another.
What is it?
Even though he might come up with an idea, right? Or I might come up with the idea, we have a thing. Whoever pitches it to you first gets credit, right? And that's who you'll take it from first.
Yeah.
No, just playing. But it's like whoever can pitch book first gets the credit. That's what we go. That's what we go on.
We're almost at 800,000 subscribers, man. Hey, man, on to a million, on to 900 to a million. And for a small company like Reality Wrestling to have built something like that says a whole lot about us. I know I can't, pat ourselves on the back too much here on the show today, but I just wanted to. I'm proud. I am so proud of what we have built at Reality of Wrestling.
Well, I want to give a shout out to Aiden Cristiano, Clay Roberts, and Ryan Davidson, who are also students. Ryan's been there forever. Oz has been there, or Aiden Cristiano, has been there forever. And of course, Clay is last several years. And they helped. It's cool because this is what I was going to bring up earlier when you talk about having announcers and cameramen and this and that, and the other thing. It's like we also have agents people who can trust, and that it's like put this, help me get this done, and I want to shout all them out. And to me, Ryan Davidson, especially, if I can just for a moment, when like somebody's on the team, the basketball team, and they have their spot, and no matter when you pass it to them, it doesn't matter if a defender's in there, it doesn't matter if they have a fever, it doesn't matter if they twisted their ankle that day. No matter what, if they're in their spot and you pass it to them, it's nothing but net every time. Ryan Davidson has his spot. You know what I mean? He can't miss. And it's just like wet Kobe right through the net every single time, man. If everybody had a roster full of Ryans, like you would say about other people, if you had a roster full of Ryans, man, you're a winning organization.
When I talked to him after the show last night, he said, hey, Book, when you always say that, the second Saturday is your most stressful day of the month. And I go, yeah. He goes, now I know what you're talking about. He didn't have to work. He didn't have to wrestle. But just watching everybody and hoping that they don't make any mistakes. The mistakes they do make are small. Please don't get hurt. That type of thing. That nervousness is something that's going to go through your body from the beginning of the show all the way to the end. So now he knows exactly how I feel.
Yeah, I could see it on he and the other agents' faces. They were watching. They couldn't even watch with a monitor. They had to go out and look at it. You know what I mean? Like in person, and just
no, man, so cool. Yeah,
waited on bated breath. So again, our Reality Wrestling YouTube subscribers will be seeing that very soon, our channel members. And then the CW audience here in Houston will also be seeing it at 10 o'clock Saturday nights on CW 39. BT, speaking of that, speaking of CW, big day coming up. NXT.
And tomorrow, what are you talking about?
I know, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, it's here. Shoot, yeah, I got to get out of here. And only reason I'm here right now is that I want to get here and do the show from home. I didn't want to be on the road doing it, but I'm gonna fly out early in the morning, and get to Chicago and Allstate Arena, man. Arena that I'm very, very familiar with. Been there many times and many shows from that arena. It's gonna be rocking. It's gonna be rocking for those young guys tomorrow. And the difference for this show is all these young guys, they're gonna have some time. They're gonna have to go out there and work. They're gonna have to show up and show out, because this is truly the biggest night of their young careers. It really truly is. No matter how they look at it, all the PLEs they've done, all that stuff, forget about it.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly. Just throw it out, and get ready to go out and do something special. I cannot wait to see Julia versus Reality of Wrestling's own Roxanne Perez, two-time NXT champion, breakout tournament winner, Iron Survivor, all that. She's done it all, and now she has a chance to go out and prove that she is truly the best in NXT right now. So I'm psyched. CM Punk, he's going to be there. He's got duties as well. So
duties,
yeah. So I'm excited, as well as, I don't want to throw anything away, but it's going to be a whole lot of bells and whistles, man. I mean, we got St. Louis next week, and that's going to be the second half. So guys, don't get too ahead of yourself. It's going to be good.
Well, so this is NXT's debut on network television. So let me first say it's going to have a huge audience, expected big audience. And you're one of the voices of NXT, along with our guy, Vic Joseph. Shout out to Vic. But, because we're going to have a big audience, if you could sneak in a couple reality wrestling plugs, for the YouTube channel in there, maybe we can get that little thing up. I'm just saying,
Oh yeah. I'm
a couple little drops. You can actually see Roxanne's whole career. Reality Wrestling's YouTube. Go subscribe.
Trust me. I mean, we get up to 1 million in no time.
Hey, just a couple of plug-a-rooskies, brother. Nothing wrong with that. On the topic, John JID 999 sent in a super chat. It said Sean says there's surprises coming to NXT, and this is actually in an interview he did with the Chicago Tribune. He said, "What you can expect is one of the best shows NXT has ever offered. Certainly, we want to make a splash on the CW network. We'll have some big changes, but I think more of that will be from a look and physical standpoint. We will still be what NXT is, which is bringing some of the most talented, young, diverse athletes in all of the nation and developing them into the WWE superstars of tomorrow. The hunger, the passion that's always been the core of NXT is always going to be there. But we're certainly going to put on some cool bells and whistles for the CW launch."
Yeah, I was reading today that, of course, we're going to be out of the PC for a couple of weeks now, right? Actually 3 weeks before we get back in there. And I heard that they have just totally tore it down. I heard a construction crew came in and totally just took everything out. So when we get back in there, it's supposed to look totally boom off the chain, totally different. I'm excited. I want to see exactly what they're doing, as well as if they got any LED boards just laying around.
If they just say they're not using it anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
they upgrade now. They don't, their old stuff, you got to get rid of it.
You got to upgrade.
Yeah. So I'm gonna see if it's any LED boards just happen to be laying around somewhere in the warehouse.
Like, Book, like if you go in your closet and you're like, man, I haven't worn this jacket in a long time. You know what I mean? I don't wear this. It's a nice jacket. I don't wear this jacket. I need to give this jacket to somebody who could appreciate this jacket.
It goodwill.
Give it to Goodwill. You know what I mean? Or maybe like, somebody who's your size and you're just trying to give them like a good looking out. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what we're saying with the LED board. Because how long can you really use the same LED board?
Look here, man. That stuff get old and it get old quick.
It's old.
It's like the iPhone. What are we on right now? iPhone 30?
16, okay. But you're close. You're close.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, man. Everything's always, evolving. Everything's always, upgrading. It's like my old phone. I had the Galaxy Note, right? And I upgraded to the Z Fold, right? The big Z Fold. And I put my smartwatch on, so I try to hook my smartwatch on my Galaxy smartwatch, hook it up to my phone, and it tells me it doesn't work with this version. You have to upgrade your phone to a newer version because and I'm like, wait a minute, it was just working perfectly fine with my old phone, but man. It's always a catch. It's always a gimmick, man. They're always trying to get you, bro.
Look, I'm not actually gonna lie. I just upgraded my phone a week ago, and I had my last one for about 2 years. And as soon as they announced the new iPhone, and I know this is a conspiracy, people say it doesn't happen. As soon as they announced the new iPhone, all of a sudden, my phone that never had an issue with battery was like going to 1% within 2 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, well, the new software requires more power. I'm like, that's BS. Y'all are manufactured obsolescence.
It's work, man. They hit the button. They hit the button. It's like the Tesla. You know what I mean? They can hit the button right there from the office. You know what I mean? Next thing you know, you wondering what's wrong with your phone. Why you not getting any incoming phone calls? That kind of stuff. It's a work. It's a work. It's not a conspiracy. I don't believe that.
I don't either.
No, seriously. But like you say, NXT. Debut, CW going down tomorrow night. Big matches, man. But like I say, for me, I'm partial. I got a lot invested in this thing. I'm gonna just say it for this match: Roxanne Perez versus Julia. Roxanne is gonna show her exactly what wrestling is all about. Hey, stick around, guys. That Ula Boot. That's Canadian. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Can you dig it, sucker?
All right, everyone, it's Booker T and Brad Gilmore here, and we've got something exciting for all you sports, comedy, music, and theater fans out there. We're talking about Game Time, the fastest, easiest way to get your hands on tickets to your favorite events.
That's right, Book. We love all those spontaneous, unforgettable moments, and Game Time is here to make them happen. Whether it's a last-minute decision to see a game or a sudden urge to catch a live show, Game Time has got you covered, giving fans access to tickets even at the last minute in over 60 cities across the United States and Canada.
And guys, this ain't about getting in. This is about getting the best seats in the house. With Game Time, you can see images of your seat before you buy it. So no surprises there, guys. You can score tickets swiftly. Skip the line, guys. Just dive straight into the moment.
Absolutely. And listen to this. Game Time guarantees the best prices. Find tickets in the same section in row for less elsewhere. Game Time will give you a credit of 110% of the difference. So there's no reason to wait, bro.
So whether it's the thrill of the game, the laughter of the comedy, the rhythm of the music, or the drama of the theater, guys, don't let the opportunity skip by. Choose Game Time. Grab your tickets and just enjoy the moment.
Live should be spontaneous, Book. So guys, don't miss out. Check out Game Time now on their app or at gametime.co. That's gametime.co.
Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Just download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code BOOKER for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Lowest price. Gee, guarantee. Oh, yes. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man. Shoop! That's for the Dark Knight. I just wanted to get that in there.
You got to throw it in there for my man.
Most definitely, yeah.
You know what's funny, BT, is I was watching this movie that just came out the other day. It's a Kevin Smith movie. Kevin Smith, who played Silent Bob in a lot of those movies from the 90s, Clerks, things like that. And this movie is called the 4:30 movie. And it takes place in like the late 80s, mid-late 80s. And like part of the movie, they're all watching television. This is at the very beginning. And there's a wrestling show coming to town that's essentially, I guess, like the WWF of the day. And they're cutting a promo. This one guy's cutting a promo, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, God, man, this like really feels familiar to me, you know? And it's a guy. His name is Major Murder, is the name of the wrestler. He's played by Sam Richardson, who people know if you watch. He was on Veep and a lot of shows. But anyway, as I'm watching it, I'm like, why does that seem so familiar? And I don't have any confirmation of this, but I honestly, truly believe in my heart of hearts that little promo that they shot for this scene in the movie was based on your GI Bro WWA promo that we play on the show all the time. He's wearing fatigues. It's the same looking set. He's like Major Murder instead of GI Bro. He's like a military guy.
Yeah.
Once this movie, I can find the scene for it, I'll show it to you because I think it's 100% you in the WWA.
Wow.
I'm telling you, anybody who sees it, who watches this show, go out, watch it. Tell me if I'm tripping because I really, really believe that this is from you. So I wanted to throw that out there to the people before I forgot.
Hey, man, I'll be looking for it.
I'm sure you're like, you've probably impacted more than like on other like products and you probably even know about. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's probably a Booker T influence in more stuff than we realize.
You know what? It probably is. Just talking to fans when I do these conventions, it's a really, really an eye-opening experience to hear some of the stories. Man, it really is, and that's why I love going to the people and doing conventions and stuff like that. Just because I get so much out of it, because it really lets me know that I did affect people, that I did change some people's lives. I did inspire a lot of people to get up off the sofa and do something, So I think that's what life's all about, trying to, just do something good, something you can look back on and say, man, I did that. Yeah, I think that's what it's all about. Even with wrestling, I don't, wake up and go to sleep thinking about my wrestling career or anything like that. But sometimes I do think about it, when certain things happen, and I go, man, I did that, man. That was me. And I have to really, I have to really pinch myself sometime to realize that it was me who did it, because it's some of the stuff is, not, to pat myself on the back or anything like that, but some of the stuff is really, really extraordinary, to come up out of the ashes and do some of the stuff that, some of the stuff that happened for me. And I know I was a big part of it, but I always say God literally put me here for a reason. God guided me through that storm that I was in. And I easily could have ended up somewhere else. So easily could have ended up, being somewhere else in this life. So it's truly amazing. It really is.
Yeah, you just don't know where that path's going to ever take you. You know what I mean? You just never know, BT. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I see influence in certain, places definitely of yours. And anybody who checks that movie out, I really would love to know. Book, also this weekend, we have a premium live event from Atlanta, Georgia.
Georgia, baby.
Bad Blood. I decided I'm going to make the pilgrimage. I want to go see this show, Bad Blood from Atlanta. It's a great card, BT. And I want to ask you, there's a few matches here on this, and I just kind of want to get your opinion. But one of them is what most likely will be the main event of the show. Hell in a Cell match. Drew McIntyre, CM Punk. When I just say that, what do you think of? Like, what do you think that we're going to see in Atlanta, Georgia in a Hell in a Cell between these two? And does their rivalry warrant a Hell in a Cell?
I think so.
Yeah, I do too.
I think so. I think this is the closest we've been in quite some time where it's like a heated rivalry where the guys like hate each other. Not just angle. It's like Drew McIntyre's really done some of his best work as far as really leaning into the realism of the story of CM Punk, per se. So I think having it in a Hell in a Cell match is going to be totally fitting. How they bring it is going to be something totally different. One thing about guys like CM Punk, guys like Drew McIntyre, more on CM Punk's end. When you're one of those guys that you're closer to the end of your career opposed to the beginning of it, you're gonna go out there and you're gonna let it all hang out because I got to do this. I mean, I got to be remembered a certain way. So I got to go out and literally lay it all on the line. That's normally what I look at Sting's career at the end. He just went out and he just laid it all out. He just did whatever he wanted to do just because he knew, boom, I'm wrapping this thing up. And I feel like CM Punk, there again, not saying that he's going to be retiring anytime soon or anything like that, but he's definitely closer to the end of his career than the beginning. And I think this is so important for him to go out here and make this kind of match, especially a match like Hell in the Cell, because it's got such a historic feel to it. All the Hell in the Cell matches, who do you remember? You think about Taker. You think about Mick Foley. You know what I mean? You think about Triple H. You think about those type of guys. You know, so to be a part of that lineage of guys who have, been a part of that Hell in a Cell match. Me personally, I never wanted to be a part of it. I'm serious. I'm kind of glad that was not on my resume because there again, you got to leave it all in the middle of that ring at the end of the night in order for people to remember that Hell in a Cell match as something special. That's just me.
Somebody's gonna get effed up tonight. That was the quote from Booker T in regard talking to Triple H when you were talking about the Elimination Chamber. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that this is going to be something that these guys, because here's the thing. Say what you want about CM Punk and where he is, in his career as far as longevity can go, and Drew. These guys love pro wrestling, right? And they know, like the old school guys know what it takes to put in this essentially a cage match, to put on a memorable cage match. Now, the first Hell in a Cell match of all time happened between Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker at Bad Blood. That was the name of the event. So to me, if you know that and you know the history behind this event and what it represents, these are guys who in their SummerSlam match already paid homage to Bret Hart, Undertaker, and Shawn Michaels in that match where it had Seth and Drew and CM Punk. So I'm expecting some callbacks to the very first Hell in a Cell here. I'm not saying Kane's going to show up, but I'm saying I'm expecting some great callbacks and a great story. Because to me, Bookie, you've been in cage matches before and even Elimination Chamber, excuse me. Yes, part of it's the spectacle of seeing the structure, but it's probably way more about psychology and how to utilize that cage than a regular even match, right? Because you got to know, how can I use this to my advantage?
Yeah. As well as you got to know how to use it properly. You don't want to get hurt. You want to go out there and you want to be spectacular. You want to go out there and do some things that the crowd is going to be in shock and awe, but you still don't want to get hurt, a la Edge. Jumping off the cage and just coming straight down and boom, and something blow out. That is not what you want, especially at that age. So meticulously, they're gonna have to, especially for CM Punk, he's gonna have to go out there and make sure he do it right. And my thing is, I always talk about safety at Reality Wrestling. I always talk about that, but with matches like this, you got to throw caution to the wind. It's not a match where it's going to be a lot of light moments. You got to go out there. You're going to be bruised, battered, and torn when you walk out of a match like that. That's just part of it. I'll go back to Trish Stratus. Last year, Becky Lynch. What a freaking match! But they went out there and they just beat each other up, and they used the cage to do it. It was as real as it possibly can be. The feel from that match when they finished it, you go, wow, man, those ladies went out there and rocked it. So I think CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, they're capable of going out there and really doing something special. But there again, their body's going to take a toll in this match. And that's just part of the game. There's no way around it, under it, over it. You just got to go straight through it. And that's the only way you're going to be able to walk away from something like this. As well as wrestlers, take these kind of matches and, hold them very, very high as far as, a badge of honor, a badge of courage, going out there and actually doing that. A la Triple H blowing out his quads, but still finishing the match, brother. And that kind of stuff, man. It's a gladiator business, man. It really, truly is. Me personally, get me up out of here. Go to the referee. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Every time I come here, I just have so much fun. I go home and we just can't stop talking about it till we come back.
The whole roster, top to bottom, star-studded guys.
We drove 12 hours from Atlanta. This comes to one missile for the world. It's one of the premier independent wrestling promotions across America. It's a well-oiled machine, and there's a lot of good talent. It's very rare on in these shows to see so much talent on one show.
The organization that he has right now, I think and truly believe that it's one of the best organizations out there.
Brian Cage is 15 feet in the air.
Bryan takes him up top!
A lot of fun, a lot of good athletes, good wrestlers, good family fun.
I've been around with a lot of the other independent groups, but this to me is a very, very top and first class operation.
Reality of wrestling, one word, heart. And that's what Booker T is bringing to Houston. It's already special.
He's created opportunity, and he's creating great talent, as you guys well know.
Can't make it happen without these young people, without the fans coming out and supporting this thing. This is the flagship of Texas wrestling. This is the beginning of something big. It ain't gonna stop.
It's the best damn promotion in the country right now. The best independent promotion in the country. The best talent, the best coach and teacher that there ever was. And this is where it's at right here in the reality of wrestling. Believe that.
Oh my goodness! A Davidson driver!
It's very professional. It's a very good production. Booker's doing it right. I really enjoyed being a part of it.
Oh, what a rush.
The future of wrestling is reality of wrestling. That's the reality of the situation.
I'm Roddy Piper, and you're watching Reality of Wrestling. Be there, be square, babe.
Can you dig it, sucker?
You are listening to the Hall of Fame. Here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Fame. We got my man Brad Gilmore here. I just want to do that. I always want to do that voice right there just one time on the way back in. But
Sounds good.
I want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame. Get your champagne, wishes, caviar treats. I know we got a lot of super chatters. Going to get to you guys. Some of them perhaps per se controversial, but we're going to answer all your super chats here today. I promise you that.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's pretty much time to get to it.
Let's
right?
do it. Let's do it.
It's no time like the present, BT. And this is where we're going to go, where we go. First one's up. Let me get my little sound bite up. I should have had that ready to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm slacking on that one.
Man.
I should have had that ready.
Yeah.
Jack Frost, what are your thoughts on Swerve claiming WWE doesn't treat black wrestlers fair? Seems he only cares about being black when it benefits him. Wow.
You know, I mean, who was he talking about in general? I mean,
I think that this was, and I got to be sure because I don't want to speak out of school. I think that Swerve did an interview on the Breakfast Club with Charlemagne and DJ Envy.
Yeah.
I believe this subject came up.
Yeah.
But I didn't see it in full context, so I don't want to speak to it fully without knowing who he's referring to. But let me see, as you answer, let me see if I can find it.
No. I mean, I was just wondering, is he talking about someone in specific? Because I look at the black talent in WWE right now, like Bianca Belair, Oba Femi, who else? Who else we got? I mean, the New Day. New Day, they've won more tag team champions than anybody. I mean, Bianca Belair, she's headlining at WrestleMania. Oba Femi is a young guy out of college that's doing big things in NXT. I'm just trying to figure out what he's talking about. Me, I've been working there for 20 years. I'm just trying to figure out if it's something that happened to him personally. For as far as him not getting the push that he wanted in WWE, he felt like perhaps he should have been a bigger star in WWE. I thought before Swerve left, they were doing something with him and Top Dollar and
yeah, I mean they had for sure.
What they call
the hit row.
Hit row, yeah. I thought they was trying to do something with that. I mean, and the thing is too, sometimes things don't work out. But I don't know, man. I hate that we're still talking about this race thing as far as what WWE is doing with black folks.
Well, so this is
and I say that with all sincerity because I'm black and I've been working for the company for a long time and I know how I've been treated for the last 20 years. That's the only reason I say that. It's the only reason.
Well, and the other thing is, if you just look, I think about talent is let's just take NXT for example. I think NXT has a great roster of all talent of all colors, but obviously they have a lot of strong black performers. mean, when you think about Jada Parker, Trick Williams, Carmelo Hayes, Obafemi, that's just name a few. And there's a roster there, and there's an emphasis on wrestlers of all colors, but especially black performers that perhaps wasn't there 15 years ago. I mean, obviously times have changed. Now, what Swerve said, from what I can find on the this was on the Breakfast Club, so I'm guessing this is what it's referring to because it's the only story I can find that's kind of in relation to this. It said former AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland recently signed a new contract with the company. The deal makes Strickland one of the highest paid wrestlers in the business, something that caught the attention of WWE, who reportedly thought AEW paid above market value for him, which is bad for business. Strickland was asked about these comments during an appearance on The Breakfast Club and believes there's a very specific reason why WWE officials were so rattled by someone like him being given such a big contract. This is what Swerve said. They only complain when a black person gets paid. I will say that. That's what, once again, we shake the foundation and things like that because it's like, oh, snap, wait, it's not what we would pay. And I'm like, why are you calling out me? Why are you asking me? Like, I'm not your concern. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about my pockets and our money. We're good. You have your talent. Like, you made your decision with me 2 years ago. No hard feelings from me, but boom, I keep it moving. I'm going to figure my way out, and I'm going to build myself up. That seems to be the quote that I can find.
Yeah, but that sounds like he's talking to someone in specific, right?
No, it sounds like there's a rumor. I guess WWE thought AEW overpaid for him.
No. What I'm saying is, it's specific to someone saying that he had been overpaid.
Oh,
That's
right.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So my thing is, it seems like he has, some kind of beef with someone, whoever said that he was overpaid. I don't know who said that. Do you know who said that?
I don't.
Yeah, and I could get Swerve snap back and making a snap back if someone did say something like that. He's getting overpaid, which there again, it's nobody's business. What somebody else is getting paid. First of all, as far as what he was getting paid in WWE, I don't know, but if that's the way he feels, that's his opinion. If he got some kind of personal beef with someone who said, what was said. So I get it. I probably would snap back too if someone said that about me.
Not to change the subject, just the bad news continues to pile on as this comes in while we're live. Reports are going on all over the internet, on TMZ and on the New York Post and Sports Illustrated, that the Cincinnati Reds legend and the WWE Hall of Famer Pete Rose has passed away at 83 years of age. This comes after earlier today we talked about Dikembe Mutombo, and yesterday the country music legend Chris Christopherson died at 88 years old. Three tragedies. Pete Rose, Charlie Hustle, one of the great baseball players of all time, obviously banned from the league for the betting scandal that he had, but very, very, very memorable appearances on WWE television with Kane at WrestleManias. And I always look forward to seeing how Pete was going to find his way into the WWE world. And I will say I'm glad that he is a WWE Hall of Famer, although his stats prove that he should have been enshrined in the Baseball Hall of Fame as well, scandals aside.
Yeah, I feel that way too. I mean, Godspeed. Pete Rose, man, he was one of the best players you ever saw play the game, man. They didn't call him Charlie Hustle for nothing. That dude he would run over you, dog. He would run over you at that plate if you just standing there. So one of the greatest players of all time, and like you say, should have been in the Baseball Hall of Fame many years ago. And I do understand the scandal and whatnot, but sometimes you got to look past, past that, because he was truly one of the greatest that ever played the game. Truly one of the greatest. You know what? Pete Rose may have been the best baseball player, all around baseball player of all times.
He's awesome, man.
I'm not just saying that. I'm talking about from an overall perspective. That dude could do everything. So give it up for Pete Rose. Godspeed.
Man, chat, y'all got to let me have some good news here, but also, yes, Maggie Smith, an actress who passed away, almost 90, I believe, or in her 90s. She was in the Sister Act movie. She passed away last week too.
She had a good life.
Yes, she was great. She was so iconic in the Harry Potter films, and in so many things. But yeah, I mean, Charlie Hustle. Yeah, I mean, Charlie, look, P Rose was so bad. Sir Mix-a-Lot had to because then he said, no, he said, I'm J.R. Ewing. Never mind. I thought he said Charlie Hustle. He said, I'm the J.R. Ewing of Seattle.
They all look alike.
Hey, J.R. Ewing was bad too, man, but he was not a real guy. But J.R. Ewing was bad, but Pete Rose was the guy. And you know what's sad? They just did a documentary. It must have been less than 6 months ago on Pete on HBO, talking about he's trying to get in the Hall. He's trying to get in the Hall. And to me, he should have been in the Hall. He should still be in the Hall. Yeah, I have mixed feelings now if he goes in and he's not here.
I wouldn't appreciate that at all.
I wouldn't either.
I wouldn't appreciate it at all. Yeah.
But the Reds should find a way to honor him in a different way if they haven't already. I'm not like super in tune with what they do, but Pete, again, just bad dude, man. And you would like Pete Rose was a guy who you also didn't want to you wouldn't want to try him. Like Pete Rose could go off on you.
He was Jack too, in his day, bro.
Pete was the guy. Pete was the guy. So rest in peace to the great Pete Rose. That's according to TMZ Sports. And actually, Fitterman Sports, Ryan Fitterman, who's actually based out of here in Houston, he's the one who confirmed the news because he's also Pete's agent, his signing agent. Said the family's asking for privacy at this time. Legend, man. Absolute legend.
Yeah.
Well, BT, we do have more super chats to get to. We're all up against a break. So I feel like let's go and then we'll come back and get to these super chats.
Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Booker T here, and I'm so excited to share something that really has been a game changer lately for me, man. That's Via. That's right, Via. Summer might be winding down, but football season is just around the corner. But you don't have to let those summer vibes fade away. Via has got you covered with the best hemp and cannabis product legally shipped right to your door in all 50 states. As an athlete, recovery is key, and Via Relief Line is a perfect post-gym relaxation and eases those aches and pains. For years, for me, inside the square circle, they get the organic flower. It's top-notch, baby. Grown without harsh pesticides or chemicals, plus their award-winning THC and THC-free gummies. Premium indoor THCA flower, oh yes, and the soothing topical and calming drops are all made from the highest quality hemp source from the trusted American farms, man. Oh yes. Hey man, I've personally been using Via for a while now, and let me tell you, it has made a huge difference, whether it's the calming drops that help me unwind or the premium flower, man, that just hits the spot. Via has something for everyone. Trusted by professional athletes and loved by over 500,000 customers. It's a brand that you need to check out. So if you're 21 or over, go to the link in our description and use the code, man, Booker, to get 15% off your order. That's right, 15% off. And remember to tell them Booker T sent you when you check out. Hey, support the show. I'm talking about the Hall of Fame, man. And take your recovery and relaxation to the next level with Via. Check it out right now. Shup! Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. Super Chatters, where you at? Where you at, man?
Let's go to our next one here. This is coming from, let me get back to my screen. There it is. This is coming from John JID 999, who said, what are your thoughts about MVP being in AEW now? We talked a little bit about this last week. Have you talked to MV is the question, though.
No, I haven't talked to MV yet about making a big move to being all elite, man. No, I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him big time. You know what? You know what, man? I'm a pretty positive person. I try to stay positive all the time.
Thanks.
And I said something about MVP and that we were talking about, and they got picked up on one of the sites, and they actually did me good as far as what I said, that they misquote me or anything like that, as far as putting some shine on MVP, giving him the rub as well. And I compared MVP to a Paul Heyman, And I don't think that's a knock on Paul Heyman or anything like that. And I don't think it's trying to big league MVP in that position. No, I don't think so at all. But I do see um, if anybody was going to be passed the torch from Paul Heyman, it would be someone like MVP. Okay, that's what I'm saying. If we were to look at anybody in this business these days as a legitimate manager that could be a legitimizer for some young talent, it could be MVP. You know what I mean? And then when you see comments like MVP is no Paul Heyman. Look, bro, whoever, you guys thinking about the wrong thing. You're thinking about the wrong thing. You're reading the article and you're just looking for something to comment on. My thing is MVP has done a hell of a job at what he's had to work with. He really has. Being able to parlay his in-ring career into what's next, which could be a managerial position, is not something that every wrestler is thinking about or every wrestler is capable of doing. That's why I give MVP major props. Okay, that's bottom line. All right.
I love it, man, and I'm right there with you. To me, MVP almost like literally since he walked in the door, and this isn't me just gassing him up. Like since MVP came into the WWE, he always understood that it's more than the moves, right?
Yeah.
From day one. I mean,
he figured out how to get over.
He figured out how to get over, which is like the key to business, right?
I think
but
so.
Like, think about his entrance, and obviously, I don't know enough, and I'd actually like to ask him of like all the thoughts that went into the entrance. Remember, he had like the little tunnel that he'd come out of, and
that.
Had the
that probably was a WWE theme when he did that.
But his entrance was great. The music was great. His gear was great. The 305 and the MVP chains, kind of living up to the like the baller athlete of the day, and really being able to adapt that to a character. And then he comes back and transitions to this managerial role and has the Hurt Business. The reason why we like the Hurt Business is not just because of Bobby, Shelton, and Cedric. We liked it because of how Envy would talk it up. How Envy would make you feel about the Hurt Business, the promos he would cut, because, God love those three guys. They're all incredible performers. But if you line all four of them up and say each of you cut a promo, Envy's going to shine. That's his bag. That's where he gets off into.
Yeah.
And that's why, I agree. And you know what? You can go back and see some Raws where Envy and Paul were having like interactions with one another. And as great as Paul Heyman is on the mic, and no one is doubting that at all, he's one of the greatest of all time. Envy can hang with so many people, man, on the mic.
No,
he can hang with anybody.
Thing is, he's somewhat of a poet. I mean, he writes. So
he's MC.
His vocabulary is very, very vast. He's not going to have a problem, being quick wit or anything like that. So no, that's why I say I give MVP props. And he's at a soft landing, and hopefully what do they call himself now? It's not the Hurt Business, the Hurt Syndicate, right?
I don't know if that's what they're officially going with.
I think they trademarked.
I saw him trademark that.
Yeah, Hurt Syndicate, man. I mean,
that's
mafia-like stuff. So yeah, man, I like it. Let's just say that. Let's move on.
Let's move on. Our next one here is it's actually right on the same wavelength.
Super Chat.
The new Hurt Business in AEW, Envy, Swerve, Lashley, Shelton. I could dig that.
I can see that, but I don't know if Swerve really want to get caught up in a group.
I agree.
Me personally, I wouldn't want to be a part of a group if I was Swerve, just because Swerve right now is carving his own lane, man. He's doing some really, really good stuff. And to be able to, when you're in a group, you're going to be clouded. You know what I mean? You're not going to actually really be able to shine. We were just talking about this with Gunther and Giovanni Ludwig and Giovanni having to back up Gunther and not being able to go out there and really shine. So I don't see Swerve actually, he will be a great addition. He will be a great addition. But if I was Swerve, I still want to be solo. Like the NWO, when they came through, I was like, nah, man, I'm gonna stick this thing out as a solo act, and look what happened for me.
Right, it all worked out.
Yeah.
It all worked out. This next one comes from Mike Wootson. Hey guys, love the show. Hey Book, I notice every Row episode you appear in, you mean mug a bald black guy with glasses in the front row. What did he do to you?
Oh man, that's reality of wrestling, man. That's just something that has become a staple at reality of wrestling. That guy has not missed a reality of wrestling show. He sits in the same spot every time.
Yep.
And he's a professor. So he's a smart dude. But it's just something about him. Them beady little eyes. Every time I see him, I just want to shake him. I want to do something to him. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna let him make the first move. I'm gonna let him make the first move. As soon as he jump, I'm gonna knock him out. Okay. So I just if he's listening to the show, jump. If you feel froggish, jump.
You feel froggish.
That's an old school line right there. Yeah. If you feel froggish, just jump. You young guys, y'all can use that one.
Giving them game. Eddie Kane Maine says, looks like Jacob Fatu brought out the bulldozer for Edge. I think he means Zilla, because he crumbled like a ton of bricks. Yeah, man. Stone went down, man. We had to go back to Stone Island and regroup. But it's all good. It's all good. Zilla Fatu. Speaking of Zilla Fatu, he's been in the news. And I feel like I need to say something about Zilla Fatu. It's a lot of because when my name is attached, I have to say something. Zilla is one of my students. He started with reality wrestling over a year ago. Of course, him and I, we had our differences. And he left, came back. One thing about this business, you got to grow. And when you're a young man, sometimes you got to take hard knocks. And you got to go through those bumps in the road in order to feel like, man, I wish it could be a whole lot smoother. Of course, Zilla had a incident with GCW. I'm not sure exactly what the full details are. One side says one thing, the other side says another. My thing is this: we concentrate on reality of wrestling, and our thing is I cannot think about anything other than trying to get that young man Zilla, because he's talent, get him to the next level. And the next level for me, for Zilla, is the WWE. That's his landing zone. That's his safe zone on the WWE with his family. I really believe that. And one thing about this business, you're going to need people that's going to be watching your back, because you are going to make mistakes when you're young. And if everybody just turned their back on you, I don't know, that's on them. But for me, this young man, he has nothing but talent. Has he made some mistakes? Of course, we all make mistakes. But I'm definitely going to try to bag him all the way to the WWE and there beyond, just because he's family. His old man is looking down on him. When he won the Reality Wrestling Championship, his dad was looking down on him. Reality of Wrestling is Zilla Fatu's safe zone, because there again, one thing about this business, you're gonna deal with a lot of different people, and the thing is, you got to know who to trust. At Reality of Wrestling, he's at home. Yeah, and I saw some comments out there, and again, I think you just did a great job of addressing all that. But like, again, you don't throw Reality Wrestling's name out there all willy nilly. You know what I mean? And say, oh, well, look at where he's trained. Maybe that had something to do with it.
Yeah, because we train the best. We train the best.
We train the best in the world. You know what I mean? And we train them right, and that's in and out of the ring. That's how to do business and how not to do business. So don't throw that shade over here.
No, man.
You know what I mean?
And that's you said it. Tiger Conway, he told me you gotta know how to be a champion in the ring. You gotta know how to be a champion out of the ring. And you gotta be able to do it all the time. And that's what I tell my students. And I think my students, they'd be the first one to vouch for me as far as what kind of advice I try to give them when they're at Reality Wrestling, even they're young when they leave Reality Wrestling, like a Roxanne Perez. So my thing is, I'm a teacher, and I'm gonna keep teaching, and we're gonna keep producing the best from Reality Wrestling. Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Matt Damon. Obviously, everyone knows Matt Damon.
Yeah, Knobs beat him up.
Allegedly. Yeah, allegedly.
That's a true story. That's not allegedly.
Knobs actually. Okay, wait, hold on. So I was about to go somewhere else, but we'll get back to the Matt Damon story about Avatar. I've always heard this. They were at some bar where in Boston,
somewhere I can't remember where it was.
And Matt Damon happened to be there, and the Nasty Boys and some of the other boys were there. And what he and Knobs, what happened? What happened?
Look, I don't know exactly what happened, but my brother was there. Knobs beat up Matt Damon in the bar, and the thing is, they probably didn't know who Matt Damon was. Knobs and Sags, probably didn't know who Matt Damon was. Matt Damon was just a kid back then. He was just getting started. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like he was the same guy that played Django. That was Leonardo DiCaprio, right?
Yes.
Well, they both look kind of alike.
Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. Now, can you dig that?
It's me every time. It's me every time.
I caught myself though, right?
You did catch yourself.
I did catch
you
myself.
did.
You know what I mean? So it wasn't like I just went through it without knowing. So come on, bro. They do look kind of alike back then.
No, they don't.
Back then.
We got this is our last segment of the day.
You look like Matt Damon. And Leonardo DiCaprio.
All right, Fred Williamson. Y'all look about the same age too.
Oh my God.
Like we're just talking about reality wrestling. So I want to shout out somebody who's been coming down the road a few times, and they just threw in a chat. Give a big up to K Toomer Fat Jitsu.
Oh yeah, man.
We appreciate you, Fat Jitsu.
Super chat.
He said, being able to see Roe live for the first time, I was starstruck. It's clear that Roe is the place to be. What mental adjustment advice could you give for those trying to step up to the next level? Yeah, mentality, Book. I think that you probably more than I have, and I've seen my fair share in this business. So many guys have a lot of promise in the ring. They don't have promise in the back. You know what I mean? Their mindset is all off.
Yeah. If you don't know how to make it in the locker room, you're not going to make it in the ring. That's one of my biggest, pet peeves with guys. Some of them know how to work, but they don't know how to work. And the thing with performing, the one mental adjustment I think that need to be made with most wrestlers is that they got to believe it themselves in order to make anybody else believe it. And feeling that way, sometimes you have to do things a certain way. And sometimes it has to feel a certain way. It has to look a certain way. And it's hard for me to really talk about all of that, on the show because, I need you guys to go to realitywrestling.com, sign up and be a part of the journey. But I think the realism that I brought to professional wrestling was all of the situations that I was a part of growing up, getting into fights, knowing what it feels like to get hit in the mouth, knowing how to, feel energized because I do have an adrenaline rush because I'm winning this fight against this kid in the park, that type of stuff. Sometimes to the point to where you win a fight and then you start crying. Real tears start coming out of your eyes after you just won a fight. I saw Floyd Mayweather after his first world championship. He fought against this guy named Gennaro Hernandez, and Floyd went out and he looked like a magician. He was so masterful. Just went out there, bing, 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 stopped him, took his championship, and then broke down crying like a little bitty baby because of the emotion. No, I'm serious. The emotion overtook him. His first world championship, and sometimes you got to know how to use that in order to make it real. That's what I say, Tuma, right there. So keep working with us, man. You booked.
Yeah. Big ups to K Toomer. Big fan, man. Our next one here comes from Guy Toenail. If Cody is going against his friends, he might as well turn heel. He knows what the bloodline did and still do and what happened to his friends. I did agree with him saying that they need to kill the bloodline. I think, it's interesting layers that they're adding to this storybook, and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I hate to book the show.
Right, I know you do.
I hate to book the show, but this thing is getting seriously. But this thing is getting very, very interesting.
Yeah,
just because of what you just said, Cody saying we got to kill the bloodline. I mean, am I going to kill my meal ticket? I'm the head of the table. I mean, we could do this, but after this, bruh, My enemy of my enemy is my friend in this situation. You know what I mean? So no, I think this thing has so many more layers, bro. And we could circle all the way back. I'm not saying that, but let's just sit back and watch.
Let's see where it goes, man.
Yeah.
Let's see where it goes. Alex Cosentino says,
You
what do you spend more on, Book? Or maybe it is for both of us. Your sneaker collection or your watch collection? What's your favorite watch you own and what's your favorite sneaker you own? I just got my first Rolex and I'm hooked now.
You know what, man? I never really been a big watch guy like that, man.
Yeah.
I just haven't. I mean, I got a few cool watches, but nothing really to talk about. But I'm a shoe guy. I'm a tennis shoe guy. I like the Nikes, of course. Right? I think the latest pair I got was the Pandas.
There you go.
I think I'm gonna go get a couple more pair of those just to have in the closet, just because I know these are gonna wear out, and I like them, and they're not gonna be producing them. They're gonna stop producing them. So I think I'm gonna go get a couple more pair of those. But nah, man, I love the Nikes, man.
Yeah, I'm a shoe and a watch guy. I'm a Jordan 1 dude. I like all the Jordan 1s. I think it's just a classic look. I got several colorways in there. I have a couple of watches that I like. Most of them, like, look, I don't have money like Book or you, Alex. You know what I mean? Like I was given a gift of a Rolex. I'm actually wearing it now. But aside from that, I have my Apple Watch. You know what I mean? I'm a simple guy. I like the free stuff, Book. If you want to give me a gift, I'll accept it.
Give me a Cybertruck. If you're out there.
You know what I mean? Like, look, Tesla. Y'all are moving to Austin, I think. Their manufacturing plant or something I heard is coming to Bastrop.
I tell you, man, I want to get that damn thing, man. But it's been I read so many bad things about it. The Cybertruck. It's always got a problem here, problem there. It's been recalled 4 times. So I'm like, man, I think I'm gonna wait a couple more years. And my wife, she went and looked at the what's the name of it? Rivian.
The Rivian, yeah.
She went and looked at that one, and she said it was really, really nice. So I'm definitely I want to get something new, man. I want to get something new just to have it.
Somebody, I don't know who had it. Somebody recently I saw had that Hummer EV. It looks sweet, man. I saw it in person.
Yeah.
Hummer electric vehicle. It was
Yeah.
sweet, man.
Yeah, I thought Shelton had one.
Was it Shelton who had it? Somebody was at Reality Wrestling. I didn't want to blow up their spot.
It might have been Shelton. Yeah.
But yeah, it was sweet, man.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, man, that's a pretty sweet looking drug. This comes from Big Breezo. What made you wear gloves with your ring gear?
It just looked cool, man. They look cool, and but they didn't really serve the purpose, because when I chop guys, I couldn't really get the chopper feel. That's the chop effect. That's why I started wearing tape, like all the way up to my elbows, just because it looked cool at the same time, and the chop really sounded really, really cool at the same time also. So yeah, that was the reason. Yeah.
Like you say this a lot, is 90% of all your, at least stylistic decisions, from your move set to your ring attire, was just like because it looked cool.
Yeah,
right? Like, isn't that 90% of everything?
I used to do my when I used to put my tape on, I used to do it like boxers. So I had a tape in the middle of every finger, so it looked really, really cool on camera, and that's all it was for. It was, I tell my students, rule number 47 is the cool effect. You got to look cool when you're doing it. I mean, you got to look good doing it. You got on both sides. When you're getting beat up, when you're beating somebody up, you still got to look cool. And that right there, that's a very, very hard thing to do. It's not something that's easy. It's very difficult, but it's part of the game. I love it. That's the parts I miss. Yeah, I miss. Yeah,
love it, man. I think we have one more here before we wrap things up here. This is from John JID 999. There was an old guy in Mid-South who never missed a show. Yeah, they're like, I think that, like, if look, like at NXT Orlando, you see the same people a lot. I know ECW, when they were run out of the ECW arena, you had the hat guy, you had the sign guy. Like, there was the people who were always there, the loyals,
Those guys are such a big part of our organization. Like I say, he didn't ask for a free ticket or anything. He's on the front row. He's got a season pass, where that is his seat. He's bought that seat for Reality of Wrestling for every show to come and support what we do. And the thing is, he's watched so many young guys come up out of reality of wrestling, because not just this arena, he's been a part of what we've been doing for quite some time. And that right there for me is special. It's special. Even the connection that him and I have, it's a special connection. It really is. Because honestly, as long as he's been coming to reality of wrestling, we've never uttered one word to each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a stare. And now it has become a stare down to see who's going to blink first. It's become part of the show. And I appreciate that. I really do.
Now, man, we love our Row fan base, man, and all the people who are going to come out to the Rise to Wrestling Royalty on October the 12th from the Walker, Texas Lawyer Arena. Will it be Gaspar Hernandez? Will it be Edge Stone? Who is going to be the #1 contender for the Reality Wrestling Championship and take on Zilla Fatu as we get closer to our December show? Have we? Well, I don't think we've announced the December show name, right? We haven't done that, right?
No.
So as our December show, as we get close to December, let's just say that.
Yeah. Working on bells and whistles for Christmas. Well, now Christmas month. It won't be Christmas, related, but we are working on some big prizes for that month. So let's just say that I've been on the phone. I've been on the phone all day long, trying to get. We got one more just came in.
We got one that just came in, and we'll close on this. Angry Duckling Institute says, "Sorry, book Brad. One more message. God bless, and may you both have awesome weeks." Well, you too.
I appreciate that. We really do. We appreciate it. We love you, bro. Hey, man, we got to get up out of here, man. I want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame, getting your champagne wishes, caviar dreams, man. Brad, for all the heavy lifting. And until next time, man, peace. We love you. We out.